Hey y'all, welcome back to
Zing!
the reality podcast where representation matters the most. And I'm your co-host Brandi.
And I'm your co-host MonTrell.
And in this corner of the internet, we are discussing all things BB28. And we are so excited to be here for another season, another summer with you.
And you know, with Big Brother, nothing is what it seems. Someone is always lying, and betrayal is the name of the game. And we are here to discuss it all.
So in this episode, we are recapping season 28, episodes 16 through 19. So let's get into the recap rundown.
Okay. Recap rundown. Here we go. We had the infamous wall comp.
Yes.
Starting. And we had Lala win the wall comp and make history as the oldest person to win the wall comp.
Yes.
We then had Mallory go in and win the BB time capsule. She did in fact get a punishment. She selected the Adam and Eve punishment and chose her Adam to be Melody for the 48 hours of being connected together in leave costumes. Lala goes ahead and nominates Barrett, Haley, and Chuck for nomination. In the veto, Kamu wins the veto. He does not use it. And in the blockbuster, Haley wins the blockbuster, takes herself off, and Chuck is evicted 9-1 against Barrett.
Yeah.
Now, I know that me and you have different perceptions of how tonight went.
Or how
so
this week went,
How this
period.
whole week, yes, how this whole week
Yeah.
went. So let's get into it. I think we got to just start from the beginning. And I think this week we need to go chronologically. Because,
Yeah,
to try to
think we do.
To fill all the cracks.
Yeah. So we can start with the wall comp. We knew the wall comp was coming.
Mm-hmm.
We had predictions. We were completely wrong in those predictions. Actually, I take that back. Hold on. Let me correct myself. I was completely wrong because you said last week, this is meant for Lala. And I looked at you like you were absolutely crazy because I was like, ain't no way Lala is going to pull this out. I doubt it. I had to backtrack. I had to eat my words real quick. And I said, Lala, I am so sorry.
And you know what? We love accountability. But
yes,
you were right. You were right. We were talking about, how they're built matters. And the little ones like Mallory and like Lala, who are one and the same as far as when we're talking about that, had very good chances of winning. Here we are where Lala pulled that out. And I was like, this is what we were asking for.
absolutely.
This is what we were asking for. Somebody who's going to shift the tide, and for it to it was so poetic for the ending to be her versus Kamu, and for him
for
to
the
be
MMA versus
right.
AARP.
Oh my gosh, that was what I was telling you earlier. Something I needed to remember. That was the zing of the week. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Why would he say that? Why would he say that?
Let me tell you the what is it called?
Narrator.
The narrator with Julie tonight.
They are messy.
TV gold.
Getting messier by the
gold
episode.
Absolutely, they are, and I was living for it.
MMA versus AARP. What, sir? Because it's giving like the Love Island narrator. He tries to be messy and he tries to take digs at them. Zingbot is gonna eat them up. If the narrator is taking jabs, Zingbot is going to tear them to shreds.
I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait.
And
but I will go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. You finish.
Oh, I was gonna go on a side comment. So
on a whole side quest.
For a second, yes.
But what I will say is I was super shocked with the wall comp. Was I shocked? Yes. Was I shocked? No, either. The fact that Angela dropped in 28 seconds. 28 seconds is wild. The fact that I felt so bad for Drew because you could visibly see his arms shaking. He was going through it. And at the end, it was Drew, Kamu, and Lala. And I saw it like in real time. Well, I guess it wasn't real time, but like on the playback, how his foot slipped. And once his foot slipped and he lost, it was just like you said, it was like the slow motion of it.
Yes.
It was so poetic.
It was poetic because he was just getting through talking about how solid he was. And it's like, Lala was over there trying, right, to play Big Brother, make a deal before I fall because I know it's coming, right?
Right.
Him trying to talk his talk and, I can stay up here all day, Lala, not gonna lie. Pew! Karma. The karma comes, and you just, it came centerfold, tenfold, and he couldn't do it. It was, you could tell how much of an accident it was because of how the momentum he flew off of the wall. Like most of the time, they give in, they give out, they just fall. He like swung like Tarzan, tried to catch himself, couldn't. Hands in the slow mo of it was. Mwah. It was so
chef's kiss. Yes. Okay, so what I will say is after that, the fallout of that. So everybody seemed to be utterly shocked when they panned over to everybody and they jumped up. It was the vindication that I think we all needed. Everybody in that house needed. I mean, except for Chuck, Haley, and Kamu at the time.
Right.
But I think everybody needed that win from Lala to even things out. And Lala knew the capacity of what she just did. Not only was she the oldest person, like, to win it, right? But she knew she had changed the trajectory of
this season,
this week.
Yeah.
This season, but also just specifically this week.
Yeah. So she wins the HOH, and you could almost see the entirety of the red corner kind of like be like, whoa, I don't really know what's gonna happen. And they said it best. They were like, Lala's a wild card because you really don't know who she's gonna do. You don't know what she's gonna do. And it was so interesting because Chuck, right, it was the one that mainly is saying like Lala doesn't know what she's doing. And then Taylor even said it a couple times where she's like, Lala doesn't know all the way how to play the game, so I have to help her a little bit. But that's what made her a great wild card. And I think, like, nobody knowing if they're safe or not, and, like, is the Mama Lala role going to apply this week or is it not, you know?
Right.
This is exactly what we were asking for. And so you know how for the last 3 episodes we've been like, okay, when the other side of the house wins, it's going to be time to actually see who these people really are. Finally.
Right.
We've been seeing people who are cooped up and safe on one side and people who are stressed out and irritated on the other.
Absolutely.
And so to see the tables turn, to see people's true colors, to see who switches up, who doesn't, who really is solid, and those cracks that were there already but they can't show themselves because they're like safe, you know?
Yeah.
This is what we've been asking for. This is the week we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. And I do agree, people's true playing personalities came out this week. The one thing that I will say from jump, because I have been super hard on him because he originally was on my draft and he no longer is. But Kamu, the one thing I will say about him is I like how he adapted. He, afterwards, after the eviction, he said, the alliance is no more. I'm a free agent. Cool.
Done.
No problems. This is a game. Let me readjust. And that's exactly what he did. Can you trust Kamu? I don't think you could trust him further than you could throw him because I do feel like he is going to have vengeance, right? Like he is going to try to get vengeance some kind of way. But as of right now, he knows that he has to play this role. And with Big Brother, that's where playing chess versus playing checkers comes in. Because one of the things that I think was the downfall of Haley and Chuck, besides the obvious, was their, like, they zoned in on the fact that their alliance lied to them, who flipped the vote, etc., etc., etc. Like, Kamu was like, somebody lied to me. It was in my alliance. I'm cool. I'm out.
Off of all of y'all.
I'm done.
I'm cool off all y'all.
Let me go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will give him his points for that. Because also too, while we're here, he was going on the block.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
He was going on the block.
Rightfully so.
And that flip in the gameplay and his going up there to have a real conversation with Lala is what saved his behind. And that to me is probably one of the smartest plays this week.
Yes, I 100%, 1,000% agree with that. And it's one of those things where it's like, I gotta put my pride aside and say it, cause like we just got through. I just cemented that I did not like Kamu last episode. So for this episode to be like, that was a good Big Brother move. I mean, it was, dare I say, flawless in its execution. Because think about like your alliance, you feeling betrayed by your alliance, and then you like not knowing who. So because of that, you're like questioning somebody, and then you blame somebody, but you could be right or wrong. He paid. Everybody does. And I think while that's not necessarily like always the right thing to do in this situation, on a mountaintop that's already crumbling, that is what you do. You let it all go. You let it all fall, and you just you hop over, right? So he did that, and to negotiate yourself off of the block when you quite literally just put this woman on the block, there wasn't a notion in my mind that he would not be on the block. Because what do you mean you just put me up? Even if we're working together, I need to be able to use you as a pawn at this point, even if we're working together. Show me better than, first of all, let's even the score. Because I need a nominee. You needed a nominee. I was there. I was on the block on eviction night, not only. So like, we're not going to make it seem like, oh, I was just the pawn or I was just the, no. But yeah, you could have never convinced me that he could have gone up there and convinced her to not put him on that block. So, congratulations, Kamu.
Kudos to him.
You are playing Big Brother, and
he is. And while we're on him,
okay.
Oh, go. Or were you gonna switch it off of him?
Go ahead.
Okay. So while we're still on him, I do want to say he is also playing it strategically too, because he's the reason why Angela ended up in the gym for her meltdown. He was the reason she ended up there. He said, "Wait a minute, let me go get Angela."
True.
Brought her up there. It was Angela and Yash, right? And then everything imploded. And the thing is, where I feel like, I don't know if it's ego in this game or like if it's just his ego, right? But there was a lot of times on the live feeds where he was like, "Yeah, America's gonna love that. I did that. That was all me."
Kamu says that?
Yeah, Timu. And so see, now that he's doing something I don't like, you see how I switched his name real quick?
Yes.
Timu was like, "America's gonna love that. I was giving America what it wants." And like, he has this inflated vision of himself, of like what he's doing for America. And like, bruh,
you should not be playing for us. We're not gonna get like
at all.
Because
you ain't gonna be America's favorite.
the best you might get is a time capsule. So I mean, do what you got to do.
I don't even think he will get that.
I think he might, now that he's switched up on them, for the good, for the better.
Maybe.
Because mind you, the options are also dwindling, and like Chuck was one of the options, and now he's gone. So there's like not that many. There's not like a ton of people to choose from that like people like are gravitating towards. For him to have switched up on them and like successfully switched up on them, I do think that like he's gained points with us. He's definitely gained points with other people, and this is coming from people who did not, like him, and do not necessarily like him. But let's kind of talk about that build up to getting even to the gym in the first place. So we had Angela, right? Who quite literally went on a like moral dilemma journey. And can I just like, I feel like I liked it when I did it with Haley, so I have to like give just tidbits into like what I see when I'm watching these episodes, and what just like captures my attention. That is a woman. That is a woman that is not okay. That is a woman that is literally unsatisfied with like. She is in
life
disarray and panic.
She's in shambles.
When they're talking about liars, 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 votes, liars, who switched, liars. That's her face during that. And so for her, for days to be like, for it to be eating her conscience up, I feel like that's such a like a human moment that only Big Brother could like, and only like these reality shows and game shows specifically can like pull out of you. Like, you think you're like gonna lie and do whatever it takes, you know, like they say in their like they said in their Broville, until you start lying and you're just like, I can't do it. They're gonna catch me. You're like walking on eggshells all day long, mind you, all day long with nothing to do but talk, nothing but to do but answer these people's questions and talk to, like, it ate her up so bad to the point where they had to like figure out who was gonna come clean to who about what, and it was hilarious TV gold to watch her like break down like that. Like, it really, really was.
Okay, so on the opposite end of that, right? I cringed that whole time, because mind you, I'm watching it on live feeds, right? And then to actually see it on the episode, like, it made me so much like, oh, it made me so mad. Simply because I keep saying, Angela is growing. Angela has grown. She's a different person. She's a different player. And this week has shown she hasn't really grown at all, right? Again, you have played Big Brother before, okay? You know that lies, deception, backdooring, all of that is the name of the game. So for it to bother you as much as it did, you had to wear your glasses, you were crying, D is telling you to get it together, and you were just like, I have to come clean. I have to come clean. What? Like, at one point in the live feed, she said, I'm going to come clean. I think it was only to Kamu, right? Like, after Haley leaves this week, I'm going to come clean.
D to come clean to Kamu.
But it was Angela too. So, and I don't know. Okay, don't get me to lying. Angela was going to come clean to somebody after the eviction tonight. And it wasn't, and I don't know if it was Kamu or who it was exactly. I should have wrote that down.
Haley.
But
was it Haley?
It could have been, but they wanted Haley out too. So
okay. Gotcha.
Lala made it clear that Haley was the target.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I kind of get it, right? After the eviction this week, they both come clean. They both have a clean slate, clear conscience. I get that. But then for Angela to backdoor herself, and I was like, she took her game and she just threw it, right? Because why would you go tell Haley? And then you were looking for Haley to comfort you in this moment, knowing that you just said, not only did I betray you and lie smooth to your face, but now I want you to comfort me because my feelings are hurt because of this. And then she didn't, and she got even more mad. Right?
Yeah.
So again, two things can be true at once, right? I can't stand Haley. Cannot stand her. However, how she played Angela in that gym was gold as well, right? Okay, bet. You want to lie? Let me just lie too. And she was so smooth with it. Like, did you not tell me to trust my gut when it came to D? And her face just, Angela's face,
it was
dropped.
Insane. It was
yeah.
First of all, you're spot on. You're spot on the money, because Haley ate that one thing, not only because she was right, which is the other part of it. She's right.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, play the game. Play the game. Now, the big mistake is I wouldn't, and I'm saying this as a player, as a viewer, as a fan, as a spectator, all of them. You don't do that to Angela. One person you do not, mind you, this is before seeing how she reacted to this. You do not
Mm-hmm.
poke Angela. And I don't say that because like, oh, Angela, this scary thing. But when it comes to Angela is the most delicate of thing. Like you cradle Angela. You lead Angela into a if you're working with her especially, you lead her to a point that you are already thinking. Angela has grown, right? And the growth that we've spoken on all of this time has been her controlling her emotions. That is it. Angela has probably always had that game mindset. She's probably, but it's hard to do it when you're emotionally unavailable and you're emotionally in turmoil at all times. So the two things are true at once, and I think she has grown, and she still is Angela, and Angela is who Angela is, and that is the blow up queen. She is not afraid to blow up. She's not afraid to let her emotions get the best, and she's not afraid to ask you for a hug, even though she is the one that was wrong, or she's the one that said something wrong.
But also too, okay, you could say we need to coddle her and all of this. But Angela, you are grown.
Right.
Baby,
right.
you are big grown.
Yeah.
Like, get it together. No, because at the end of the day, like, you also came back willingly to play this game. Like, she came back to play this game. And we can say that, I say that she's grown, like you said, in the way that I don't think she takes things as personal as she used to, right? Mm-hmm. Or like she did in that one in her last season. However, she still has been blowing up because she did it with Jason. She did it with the paranoia with Drew. She's done it now with Haley. She's even this week. Was it this week? Last week? You know, it all runs together. That paranoia that she has, you can't play with that in the game and be vocal about it. Like, be that vocal. Because at one point she said, is Josh, Chuck, Taylor, and Lala working together? Why? Are you trying to insinuate it's like the whole cookout situation again? Are all these people of color making you nervous? Because
do you remember that? Last time she played, when it was T-Core, when it was don't make me lie, when it was T-Core, when it was Chelsea, when it was there was one more person at least, and she insinuated that they were working together. And that was
a cook-off.
That was a cookout alternative. Yes, and
cookout.
And then when she got when they got whiff of it, T-Core checked her, and then she was like, "No, I would never say." It was the same. Angela is Angela. So the thing about her, the only thing I've ever spoken on when it comes to Angela and her growth is that she has toned it down a bit. Not to say that she is not the same person. I have never said she's changed. I'm proud of her for toning it down. And to be fair, she was provoked. So while I'm not saying that she did not go berserk, and you can't do that in Big Brother, she was provoked because you dead are lying in my face in front of a group of 8 people, and it's only 12 people in the house. No, you're not. Mind you,
I get that.
Mind you, your lying is the truth, but you're lying to like this person. And can we just stop right there? Because D is my BB28 champion. For you to be you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. You have admitted your lies to at least 3 people in that room. There is a room of 7 or 8 people that you are now sitting quietly, and they are sitting quietly as well, while they know that they pull in the only 2 options of the people. One is lying, one is not. Who's lying? And for no results, no resolution to happen, and for D to sit there cool, calm, and collected as a cucumber and be like,
okay,
like,
so let's
what? That is game.
Let's discuss that really quick, because I really do want to break this down, because D did receive a lot of hate this week for being a mean girl online. And the thing is that I think people say they're all about the game and the BB game, right? But then the human aspect comes over it, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's such a mean person. D's not mean. D is very calculated, and she is playing the game to the T. For, like she said, there's only me and Yash. She literally said, go get Yash too.
Yes.
Bring Yash up here.
Who can do that?
She summoned him.
Who can do that?
She summoned him. And then, but here's the crazy thing. The way that it worked out is that Chuck just had to start it off, right? And Chuck had to start it off with Angela because that's what he knew for sure, right?
Right.
That's when Haley came in. And then, like you said, they all know that Dee called Yash up there for a reason. And so even that is ballsy, right? Mm-hmm. But then for Chuck to overtake it like that, and she just sat back. Like you said, she sat back and she was like, bet. Okay. But here's... Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
And here he asked all the right questions. That's the worst part. He asked the right questions, and it still turned out the way that it did, and it was because of Angela.
Yeah,
and that's it. But like, what were you about to say?
Okay, so the gym also kind of like infuriated me as well, right? Okay. Because we're just gonna get into it because I am like chomping at the bit because I want to talk about it so bad, right? So in the live feeds, you see Lala going to go stand behind the door. And so then she runs back to the HOH room and she's telling Taylor what's happening. And then Taylor was like, go get her. Like, go save her. Mm-hmm. Lala goes in and she intercepts what's happening. Mm-hmm. Okay. She saves Angela. And what they didn't show in the episode is that after that, they were in that HOH room for a long time because Lala was hyping her up, telling her that she was okay. She was good, and she just exposed a narcissist, and Lala was doing Lala, right? Mm-hmm. And comforting this big grown white woman who was sitting there shedding these Karen tears, right? And Lala comes in to save the day, right? And then game or not game, it pisses me off. Because today, y'all are thinking about flipping the vote on Lala, but yet Lala has thrown away her game on you. Okay, I'm about to go all over the board, but just follow me, okay?
Okay, I'm with you.
She saved Angela in the gym. Mm-hmm. Then she went to Angela and said how they want to go after the icons, but she told Angela, Taylor and them, she wants to protect Angela, right? Again, what does Angela do? She goes and runs and tells that, right? Then she goes and tells Dee that pretty much like Lala was telling her not to hang with Haley or not to like have amends with Haley or whatever. And that was in the last couple of days. And so then, I need a second because this makes me.
I see it. It's effective.
It makes me
heavy.
So mad because then also too, Lala halfway confronted Haley in the kitchen and was just like, you need to go apologize to Angela. So like, you have this woman being your front line of defense, and you are ready to throw her to the wolves for what? But again, this is 2026. What can I expect? It is Black women who are always coming to the rescue. And it's the fact that before she won HOH, they were getting friendly and stuff like that. But Angela still was talking mad noise about Lala that Lala never found out about. Okay, cool. Y'all are friends now. Lala does all of this for you. And it means nothing. Because your conscience can't wrap around the fact that one, you lied to Haley, two, you're mad that Haley's mad at you and you want to make amends with her. Girl, shut up. Sorry.
Get it out. There's a couple zings that need to be zung. So zing, zong, zing.
Baby, it was so infuriating for me to watch because again, then Lala and Taylor do all this cooking and cleaning in the house. And they are like saying that these other people aren't doing, like they're not holding up their half and cleaning too. Like, why are y'all in the house? And mind you, for Black women, I do feel like cooking and cleaning is just who we are. We do it well and we're going to do it, right? Absolutely. I'm not going to live in a dirty house when I don't have to. Yeah. I would be in that house cleaning too. Yeah. I would be wiping the toilets too.
I would too. Like, truthfully.
They put corn in the guacamole. I'm going to be making my own food too. You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all are doing so much.
Zing, zing.
Y'all are doing so much to, like,
You had
it's
to
the
get that one
microaggressions. It's the microaggressions, it's the huge aggressions, it is the Karen. Like, I literally looked at Angela as a Karen. Like,
You should. You should. Hey, I'm gonna add 2 layers to that are warranted because of the fact that you're on, like, you're talking your talk right now. Okay. So
I really would say more, but I know my kids was like, baby.
You need to get it out because this is, like we say, where representation matters most. And I feel like how we, right, as black people, 1, but 2, how black women, and 3, how a maternal black woman figure shows up are very, like, unconscious, right? And so you have this where
it's natural.
It's immediate, it's instinctual, right?
Yes.
And then it's like upsetting to be felt like it's taken advantage of, or it's now a expected resource, right? So now you have this shoulder to cry on, even though you're dead wrong. You have this person to clean it up after you, instead of, okay, Lala, because it was very subtle, but Lala checking Haley and, like, low-key starting a little beef with Haley in that kitchen based off of Angela, essentially, that was that maternal instinct sticking up. And you're sticking up for, like you said, this old white Karen woman who is going overboard, right? And we have to realize that, was she provoked? Yes. Did she go overboard? Yes. So it's like, those 2 things are true at once. And Lala came in, and I didn't even know about the whole HOH, hyping her up, this, but I saw that mother figure come in and check that bully that was like, you're gonna apologize to her, right? You're not gonna, you gotta think about whether you need. No, she was like, no, you're gonna talk to her. Like, there was no if, ands, or but about it. Same thing to a degree that how Taylor shows up. Taylor, just to put it into perspective, Taylor shows up as a sister-ish to Lala in that support. Like, you don't know what you're doing, girl, and I want to help you know what you're doing, and I want to help you learn, and I want to help you even in your HOH. Okay, put a pin in that. Also, to these other people, to Chuck, I don't know if you know this, and this is also my zing of the week, but, like, Taylor had a conversation on the live feeds about how Chuck smells, and she had to give him a talk, multiple talks on hygiene. As a sister, even in her goodbye message, she's like, I see you around, brother. Like, she looked at him like a brother despite all of his isms, right? And for her to step out of the game and say, hey, yada yada yada, hygiene, that's that same instinctual thing that, like, nobody else is. Like, they're gonna talk about you behind your back, they're gonna talk about you in the diary room, they're going to talk to each other about it. They might not tell you, hey, and guess what? Cool. She was talking to a wall. He didn't get it. He didn't receive it, whatever. But that is that same instinct going in and, like, trying to help lead you to water, even if you're not going to drink it. It's the same thing. Taylor was cleaning. One of her clips, Taylor is scrubbing the sink while telling Chuck about how to play the game. She is taking her brother.
What are you going to say?
Yes. Taking her brother under her wing, saying, hey, you need to come up with something to like tell them so that you can like get your game back in order. Like, she is cleaning the sink of these dirty people while putting this man on game, and it's like yes and is
so
that,
hold on. Oh, no. I thought you were about to try to switch it, because I was going to say, no, we about to stay right here.
No, I'm saying, is it a beautiful thing is it a beautiful thing in its essence? Yes, but it is infuriating me, you, us, to watch it happen and watch it unfold, and it just be like this thing that, like, nobody else is probably infuriated about, but we're like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. But it's also a part of the game where it's like, okay, how does this help you get further? And, like, okay, you know what? To a degree, 2 things can be true. Use that. Maybe you cooking, maybe you cleaning, maybe you helping, maybe you thinking you're helping, maybe them thinking you're helping progresses your game further. Maybe you know that, maybe we know that, but it's still a thing that's just like, is this how it has to be?
Yeah. And okay, so two things I want to say, because the one thing about Taylor talking to Chuck, right? You know, I hated that it got highlighted, that conversation, because she tried to have, like you said, she tried to have previous conversations with him. But again, and I look at things out of a different lens too, because Haley pissed me off in that situation too. Because when Taylor was saying, "You smell, you need to trim down there," Haley goes, "Yeah, you kind of do. I agree," right? And then she said, "I know this because," and then she was stopped, right? She was like, "I know this because," and then Taylor said, "Yeah, she used to date black dudes." And then that made me cock my head to the side, because what does one have to do with two? Like, we're talking about apples and oranges right now. What does the fact that you dated black men have to do with the fact that you know how that smells? Okay. Okay. And then the fact that she said, Taylor was like, "You know what? I'm going to go." Haley said,
No.
"Please don't leave.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't use me
Don't use me." And then when I walk away, you said, "Well, that was mean."
I didn't know that part.
She said, "That was mean." Are you, wait, let's completely rewind this, because Haley almost seemed like she was like happy that Taylor said something, like happy that it was Taylor and it didn't have to be her. The fact that you knew he smells and you didn't say anything to him this whole time, right? The fact that these people are talking about you behind your back and nobody said anything to you. Again, that sister mentality. Let me go help my brother. As delusional as Uncle Tom, as ignorant as he is, let me go help Chuck.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, "I know the smell because I have brothers." When she said that, I said that is the realest thing ever. I promise you, I was having a conversation with somebody today. I was having a conversation with a man today who saw the whole thing happen, right? And was like, "I don't know what she's talking about." This is a man telling me he didn't know what she was talking about, right?
Wow.
And I was like, "How don't you know?"
No way.
Because I know what that smells like.
No.
And as soon as she said it, I knew exactly what she was talking about. Maybe it's the fact that I have a brother. Well, I have brothers because I have stepbrothers. I grew up in the house with them, mind you. Okay. Anyway,
Brothers, sons, and husband. You are familiar.
I hit it all, right?
Hello.
And you know, I was in the streets one time. You know, people when they raise their legs up, an odor can come out. Anyway, listen, I know it. I know it all. So I'm so upset. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
Oh my gosh, they got you activated. I love it.
because it made me so mad that she tried to play Taylor like that. It made me mad that when Lala pulled Angela to that HOH room, D didn't get up. D didn't get up to go check on her friend. The person who was winding your back this whole time, she sat there and she laughed. She said it was funny. Also, too, she did say that she's upset. She like it's messed up that it's messed up because this is Angela's real feelings. But also, too, you laughed at that. You know what I'm saying? Lala was there. She was your protector. She was like you said, she did this unprovoked. Today in the live feeds, Haley was telling Angela, "Lala has treated me so bad this week." And that's because Lala has completely switched how she feels for you because of the person she loves, which is Angela.
Right.
And every black mom, every black woman knows what that feels like. I will switch on you in a second if you do something to somebody that I love. Yeah. Mama Bear is going to come out and you're going to have to deal with me, right? That's exactly what happened. And y'all played in this lady's face. And that's what pisses me off. And what also it pisses me off about the whole thing too is that, and this is what I was telling Jarvis, when they get out of this house, they don't get the privilege of seeing live feeds like we do, right? Yeah. So they're not privy to half of the conversations where they have completely dogged Lala, where they have talked about her, D, Devins, Angela at one point, everybody. So like, what are we doing? And so she's going to get out of this house. She's going to see the episodes. Is not going to think it's that bad and really realize how much this white woman just played in your face. And then Yeah.
What I will say about this, they've clipped some things, and I don't put it past any Lala fans and like the fandom of anybody who's tracking specifically Lala, because there are some people who like at one point me, right? That I'm on your BB draft, you're on my BB draft, so I'm gonna like keep track of you, and like they clip everything, right? They recap every single day, so like it's out there. It's out there, and the clips will get sent to her, and she will find out eventually. So I have no doubt about that, especially in this social media age. I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
But I will say that in this game, where they are unprivy to what's actually happening around them, it's the name of the game, and like we can't. What can you do? Right? What can you do? If they find out, cool, but like even Lala to a degree, like she's not privy to a lot of the things. She's not privy to the game. She's like showing up exactly who and how she is. And that's going to be to her benefit or her detriment, and we will see. And I think same goes for Taylor. I think there are benefits and detriments to both. And I think that's where the game player in me takes a step back, and it's like, okay, how do I use this? How are you using it? I think Taylor is using it. I think Lala is just showing up. But like it works for different folks, different strokes, different folks, and like we just got to see. But like I'm with you all the way when you say like it's annoying to say the least to watch it happen week after week, day after day, live feed after live feed, and like it go unsaid, which is I think the thing. So like. Who better than us to say it?
Right. And then I think the thing that also bothered me is just how Chuck talks to Angela and how he talks to Haley. But then versus how he talks to Lala and how he talks to Taylor. You see what I'm saying? Like to me, the disrespect that he talks to, like sitting in her HOH room is like, you don't even know how to play the game.
You're confused?
Chuck. As Julie said, she's still in there and you're out here.
She is eating him up.
Eating him up.
Eating him alive.
Yes. And so, like, again, there were just many times this week that the way Chuck talked about Lala and Taylor, how he talked to them was also, to me, disgusting. Yeah. I haven't liked Chuck for a long time because I do think he's an Uncle Tom, and I do think that he the delusion is real in his head.
It
right?
Is. It's improving.
Right. And for you, anyway, I'm not gonna go that far. So you know when you have to reel it in real time, like
reel it in.
Find it. I'm
finding it. Like I'm finding
it.
And does it take that long? It does.
It does. But I think, and then to see like him leave this evening and then for him not to hug Lala or Taylor, he said that he did that with Lala because she didn't shake his hand. So what was your reason with Taylor? No, you just hate these black women and you prize these white women. To me, it shows everything what's wrong with
him.
Yeah. Who I'm trying to find it. Baby, I'm trying to find it.
And do you know what's so real about all of it is that he's completely oblivious to it all. And so when I hear delusion nowadays, I kind of feel some of it like is normally intentional, or like delusional is like a curated world or like a curated mindset, which it is. So like I guess you're right, delusional, but like I think, which was my BB Unlocked this week, like, I've been a supporter of Chuck, like, everybody black, right? And, like, no matter how you show up, and no matter, like, if you are, like, more private school, Jack and Jill type of black, or you're, you know, hood black, like, you're black. And we can resonate, and we can talk about, you know,
Absolutely.
Things. He has no self-awareness. And I think it showed in the conversations that he had with Lala and with Taylor. The conversation with Taylor where she's literally telling him like how to, like, giving him some feedback and asking him real questions, and even production to be in on how slow he sounds.
Yes.
And for them to do like music behind when after she asks a question and waiting for his answer, and then for the after of that to be her goodbye message saying, you just don't listen to nobody, no matter what they're saying, no matter what it is, about anything. And for his response to be, well, I resonated with Haley's message, but everybody else, like, I expected it.
Yeah.
You expected her to say basically that you don't listen. And you don't. You don't. You thought Kamu was the one that flipped, first of all, on a vote, like, before even talking to him. Because of something you picked up on. Okay, you think Lala is sitting there in her HOH room telling you what her game is.
Yeah.
Saying #confused and or whatever. Cool. Does that sound like the ideal Big Brother, gameplay? Maybe, maybe not. Whatever. But for you to feel like he even used the word disgusting, which was so interesting. And it's just like, okay, it gets to a point. And I think I've gotten to that. Well, I got to that point last week because I took him off my BB draft last week. Thank you, discernment. Thank you, discernment. Yes. Hello, yes. Right? I took him off my BB draft, but like it gets to a point where you realize like this person is too far gone. And so we can always start off representing everybody. We can always start off everybody black. But then there comes to a point where it's like, no, you're a little too far gone for me.
Yeah.
I would be wasting my breath.
And I think I picked up on that
early
before because he never ended up on my draft. Yeah. I am big on I'm gonna root for anybody black, but I knew something was wrong with him from jump, and I have learned to lean into that, right? Yeah. And he proved everything that I thought, he was even worse than what I thought. And seeing him on these live feeds, having these conversations, especially like the days right after the eviction, it was almost as if he couldn't get his words together. Like, but this is in every conversation. Like sometimes I can't get my words together because I get so upset, I get so heated in the moment, and I can't just think straight, right? I don't know if that's my ADD or whatever the case may be. This is every single conversation, and it doesn't matter who he's with. And so that shows ignorance on your part. And then like I just thought it was hilarious that he gets out there with Julie, and he's like, I knew I was gonna be able to like slide for a couple of weeks, and then I was gonna have to play. Chuck, in tonight's game, you didn't even get to 2
balls
for half the game.
Right. Literally couldn't. Mind you, they're both 5-5 knocking balls off, and they're like, Chuck.
And Julie's like, Haley has 4, Barrett has 3, Chuck has 1.
She'll be like, waiting for the ball to cross the thing to see if it lands. Yes. And she's like, none.
Yeah.
It's disheartening because just like I said, you could have never told me that Kamu would have been able to go up there and convince somebody who he just put on the block to not put him up that next week. It's the same way that I stand on a certain hill where like, you can't convince me that this man whose intro was that he has been raised in a household of Nigerian women. Mother and sisters. Now, I resonated, and I'll tell you exactly the why. Right. I resonated. I was raised by a black mother with only sisters, and I don't know if they mentioned whether he was the youngest or not, but like I resonated with like, okay, if they didn't pick me, they picked somebody who has a similar story-ish, so I know I have a chance. They picked the wrong one. And it is disheartening because I'm speaking on him as a fan. I'm speaking on him as a black person. I'm speaking on him as a black man. Yeah. And for you to have to go into this house and represent me as smelly and disrespectful to black women and tap dancer for a white lady, you call a spade, and I'm calling the spade.
Hello. And I'm so glad you said that because that is what I always come back to. I wanted to like Chuck. When I say I didn't like him from the beginning, it wasn't until, I don't know when it was. Even when we did the Broville, right? We did our predictions on it. I just said, I don't think I'm going to like him. I wanted to like him because he had Nigerian mother. He has a Nigerian mother and 4 Nigerian sisters, right? Insane. In my head, I don't know what I thought. The Nigerians I know that I have dealings with aren't like Chuck.
Right.
So I was like, in the slightest, they love everything black about themselves. They are
like
definitely deep, aren't like Chuck, and they are deeply rooted in loving everything black. So for me to see Chuck, it was just like, you are a horrible representation of what you're just a horrible representation of like a black man. And then here's the thing. Here's the other part to this. I don't really care for Yash. However, how Yash deals with Taylor and Lala in the midst of how bad Chuck deals with Taylor and Lala, Yash has gained my respect in that. He's still dumb. They still talked about switching subjects really quick. They talked about an alliance in front of Yash again, and he did not pick up on it. He did not even question, what are y'all talking about? Haley is in the gym. Haley is talking about their alliance. And Yash, again, does not even click. An alliance? What alliance? What are we doing?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So.
Let's take a breath. Everybody breathe in and breathe out.
Breathe out.
Breathe in. Breathe out. And we'll be right back after this commercial. After a message from our sponsors.
Hello, speak that into existence.
Hello, it's me.
Right, we are looking for sponsors, donors, whatever. Please help us out.
Okay, so we're gonna shift a little bit.
Because we have spent a lot of time on this. I didn't even think we were gonna spend this much time on it. So let's talk about what our hot takes were for this week.
Okay. So what I will say is that for my hot take for this week is that Lala, Julie kind of framed it as like, did a little too much wine, drunk talking, get hurt and almost get her plans turned away or whatever she said. They mentioned the wine, and I think it was Chuck that like tried to low key make that a thing. Like, oh, she was talking so much and trying to. Was it Chuck? Not Chuck.
Yeah.
It was Barrett. Here's Barrett, because Chuck wasn't in there. Barrett, who said, oh, it might have been too much wine, because why would she feel comfortable saying that in front of us? She thought y'all were a part of the other side of the house, which you really are if you realize that they put you up. You were a pawn. You were considered as to be a pawn just last week when they were in power. So you should be with Lala. But whatever. I digress. They kind of blamed it on the wine, and like she was talking too much and telling her like whole Devon's thing. If we remember, her target initially was Devon's. Everybody's low-key personal hatred of Haley felt like, okay, I can leave this house. I can leave this HOH a little bit unscathed by doing a house favor, by also getting out somebody that I want out. So I'm going to shift to Haley. But Lala's deal has always been the icon. So for her to bring it up with people who have been protected by her reign. Oh, well, I guess she shouldn't have said it in front of Barry, now that I think about it, because she was on the block, and she did put him on the block. So maybe, that was wrong. I can catch myself, right? But Lala talking too much in that moment, still drunk, whatever, was good. Because if you think that you go into Devon's, and I'm going to be honest, you go to Devon's, you tell Devon's and Dee, and even Angela if you want to, that Lala's going after the icons. And then y'all start going after Lala instead of going after the people you need to go after. You're not like Taylor is. I need Taylor to go as far as possible. And I do, unfortunately, feel like Lala is going to have to take a bullet for Taylor. And we are preparing for that. In some way, form, or fashion, it can be later on. I hope it's later on. I hope it's Final Four. Lala will have to take a bullet for Taylor. She will.
Okay.
She will, because Taylor can't play the game for two forever.
Well, she's not gonna have to, because I bet you Lala leaves this week. That's my early prediction. I feel like one of the icons, and I'm not even gonna say icons anymore. Dee or Devon's, Haley or Kamu, and I'm even gonna put in there Mallory. Right? They are going, and I take Mallory out. Dee, Devon's, Haley. They are going to fight with every breath in them to get HOH, right? They are for sure going after Taylor, Lala, and Melody this week, right? Lala is going to get out. That is my prediction. That is 110% my prediction.
But why?
Because now Lala has an enemy. This goes into my hot take, right? Which is the exact opposite of you. I think Lala's talking too much was what sealed her deal this week. Two things could be true at one time. I will fight to the last breath in me for Lala and Taylor, especially how they get treated and all of this kind of stuff, right? And if they would have flipped the vote tonight, if they would have actually flipped the vote tonight, this would have been a totally different. We probably wouldn't have been able to record because I would have needed so much time to calm down. Like I wouldn't have been able to regulate my emotions that quick, right? So, but on the other side, right? I also feel that Lala and Taylor sank their game this week. Completely sank their game by talking too much. The fact, and this goes back to Lala is not playing smart. Like she is, but she's also not, right?
All right.
Because
right.
if you were observant, you would have known that Drew talks way too much. And you know that Drew talks too much. So why would you talk in front of him? Barrett, I could kind of see she should have put two and two together. I have him on the block. Why would I tell him this? That her and Taylor have already thrown around the idea that Drew and Barrett are working with the icons. So if you're like feeling all of this, why are you telling them your plan? Again, Lala talking too much. She told Angela the plan of the icons, right? I feel like she solidified her going on the block because Angela ran back and ran her mouth. Drew and Barrett went back and ran their mouth, right? Same with Lala. Same with Taylor. Like, Taylor, why are you telling Devins your plan at all and thinking that Devins is not going to run back and tell the other icons? You see what I'm saying? Like, you are openly having all these conversations with people about getting the icons out. And now that is why, and people, this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Everybody was trying to paint D as a mean person because now D has kind of switched and was like, oh, bet, Lala, bet, Taylor, this is the game you want to play? Game on, right? And now she's trying to switch pretty much the house against them so that they can be put up and be voted out. Y'all did that to yourselves because y'all couldn't shut up.
But that's what they're supposed to do. And that's my thing. That's my thing.
TJ.
They have nobody. Do you realize that the tool shed is They did. And so then who are they supposed to talk to? Now.
Okay, but it wasn't Kamu and it wasn't Yash. No, but this week, Kamu and Yash and Taylor and Lala, they got close, right?
That means they have them, so they don't need to tell them about the icons. They don't need to tell Yash. They need to gather the troops. You do. No, you have to. You do. How do you make something happen? How do you make something happen in this game? How? You just have the ideas? No, you throw it out there. You put that bug in that ear over and over.
To them?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They all should be going after the icon. The fact that we are in week 6, we're going to week 6, and these people have not been put on the block, it is about time these conversations are being had. I'm rooting for the icons on one hand.
That is not what I'm saying. The conversation should be had, but with certain people. Taylor Taylor had this conversation with Yash. Yash agreed. Yash didn't take that nowhere, right? They even talked, Kamu and Taylor even talked about it. Kamu didn't take that nowhere. But you know who did? Drew, Barrett, Devin.
Nobody is scared of them. Nobody is scared of them.
But, okay,
and
but
here's
this is what I'll say. Hold on. Here's the thing. When you're looking at the game holistically, right? It is about to be 6 weeks, and these icons have not been on the block. They are puppeteering a little bit more than you give them credit for. Why have none of them touched the block? That make sense. Right? Why am I going to openly go against that?
But listen.
So I can end up on the block next week.
The first week, they were HOH. The second week, they were HOH. And ever since then, they have insulated themselves into a bubble of protection.
Yes.
They are now being provoked. And because of this provoking, because they're being provoked, they want to get blood on their hands. They want to take Lala out. They could sit down and do nothing. They have been sitting down for 4 weeks doing nothing. They have been puppeteering from the back. Now, because they are being pushed and provoked and told things, they want to step up and get blood on their hands. That is what puts you on the spot. That is what's getting them back into the fold of being the conversations happening now that they're back in the mix. After 6 weeks, they're in the mix finally as somebody who I might want to nominate and I might want to talk some mess about in the house. That is what you're supposed to do. So maybe it wasn't necessarily the smartest thing for Barrett to be there, and I agree with you on that. But I want all the smoke. Just like they want the smoke, just like they want the chaos, I want all the smoke. So if you feel like, oh, you want to be a rat and tell them that I'm going after them and next week they want to come after me, baby, you better swing and you better miss and you better not miss. And the thing is, I'm also putting Lala on the front line because who I really need to thrive is Taylor. I need Taylor to thrive. So why I said Lala, it was not that bad, was because Lala put herself out there to be able to play the game, to be able to fend for herself, to be able to be a part of the conversations, for her to prove herself some more. She can't just go back to being, I'm losing every competition, I'm not doing nothing. She can't. She can't go back to being confused. She told somebody else to pick a side. So you definitely have to, you know?
Okay. But I have to, but like, it's too early. And no, hold on. And maybe too early is not the right wording. The thing is that Taylor and Lala are not safe. And I don't know if this is for me looking on the outside looking in, because I'm not even thinking about this from like if I'm in the game, right? But Taylor outwardly saying, I'm going for the icons to their face. Yes, that is provoking them. That is making them want to get blood on their hands. And I love it. That is gold, BB, right? However, Taylor or Lala, one of them is going home next week. And I mark my words. Unless, and I'm not even going to say they're going to go home. They're going to be put up. And to me, to be put up on week 6 is like, to even have a possibility of possibly losing Taylor next week, or not possibly losing her, or her getting put up, to me, that's too early. I need Taylor to get to week 9 or 10 and then do that and then play and swing back. But Taylor has only won one game. She has only won one competition. She is on the wrong side of the numbers right now, TJ. Oh, what?
Okay, right? I'm with you.
Okay.
But there's a point where we go back into the history of the episodes. So I'm literally going to scroll through our notes to show you. Episode 8, recap. Nominees, Taylor. Enough said. Episode 7, nominees, Lala. Episode 6, they're not there. Episode 5. Mind you, our episode 5, not their episode 5. Nominee, Taylor. They've been on the block. They've been the target. Nothing is new. Nothing has changed. And if they target them, they already were doing that in the first place. So this is the shift. The shift is I have power, and now I'm going to do the same things I've been doing and been on the block, but this time I'm going to try to rally the troops. I'm going to try to use this power, use this leverage, use these cracks, use this breakage of the other side of the house and make something happen. Either way, the tool shed, the red corner, the crossovers, all of them were coming after them regardless. So cool. Now you know what my plan is, and now you know who my target is. So now you want to target me more than you were already. You were already targeting me. I don't care.
They do, though.
Give me your best shot. Give me your best shot. And if you want to take the shot, and if you want to come from behind the puppet master, if you want to come from behind the curtain and you want to play and stop puppeteering, come on. But what you're not going to do is, what I appreciate is that this is the curtain being pulled open, at least. Okay. That is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm not saying, this is going to be the most positive thing for their games and yay. But I am saying, let's play. Open the curtain. Stop puppeteering. Come here. Come. Come.
Catch me outside.
Catch me outside. And I respect that. That is why I said, that's why we've been saying the game is starting now. And not starting now, but like when it's this imbalance, thing, it's like, but now it's like, okay, come play. And I can't wait because I hope the live feeds are on, and I hope there's already a HOH as soon as we're done with this episode, because we're going to have to talk about it, but off air. But yes, go ahead.
Off air. But the thing is that I get what you're saying. You've proven a lot of good points, right? I think just for me, I two things. I feel like the house has almost reunited, right? Because now they're turning on Taylor and Lala. And I guess seeing that from the outside, that is like, okay, next week they are prime targets, right? And even after the live eviction tonight, they showed Lala in the on the circle bed, and she was just sitting there like looking like, okay, get it together, because she even knows what's coming, right? And I just don't, I think with the whole thing and me thinking that they talk too much, I don't like the fact of who they were talking to. I do feel like they could shoot their shot or whatever, but I feel like it's almost sloppy game, right? When you're talking to Barrett, when you're talking to Drew, when you're talking to Angela, when you're talking to Devins, these aren't the people. Like, for you to say it to Angela and Devins that you're going after them, that is later down the line type of like, let's go, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like even with Taylor making the connections that she has made, she hasn't made enough to have the numbers, right? And that also showed today in the live feeds when they were planning on flipping the vote on Lala and saving Haley, right? All they need is 6 people. They have all 6 votes.
Do they though? Because every time they said that, and they said that a lot in this episode, and even you like hinted at it before the episode even came on, you really think that Melody and Mallory are not voting for Haley to go for some wacko, not wacko, because cool, flip the vote and that's cute and that's fun and we just did it last week and it caused chaos, and yes, but you really think that this girl who really hates this girl's guts and Mallory, who are also connected all week long, are not voting Haley out? I don't believe that. You think Taylor...
Let me tell you. I honestly think that they would have went with the house. Even there was something, I forgot who it was. They are the house
at this point, though. They are the house at this point. If it's Taylor, if it's Yash, just like you said, if it's Kamu, who literally didn't use the veto and is going ready, armed and ready, and had the ammunition in his hand, he has the gun, literally holding the gun, and did not use it and proved his loyalty. Plus Mallory and Melody. And then you think Drew is going to switch on them and leave them out? They are the house right now, especially when you have the power. You are the house when 3 of the nominees are on the block. Like, the tool shed is on the block. Lala it's still a tiebreaker. If nothing else, you have 5. That is minimum. But they were the house. And you can't, and that's that house mentality that I don't like and that we don't like. They are the house. So for them to feel like D, Devins, and Angela, cool, they are a trio, they're a pack, and they have pull. But what do y'all want to do? In no way Taylor's not flipping on this. And then these people hate this girl's guts. And this person Drew is solid with it. Like, and Kamu is proving this. He's not going. Yeah. He just said bump the tool shed. He's not going with them. So why is he following D, Devins, and Angela now? They were the majority. They are.
No, but I think this is where, like, watching the live feeds makes me think differently, right? Because D was having a lot of conversation with Mallory. Even though Mallory has said that she would have put D up, right? Mallory also wants to be on the right side of the house. Not as bad as Lyric wanted to, but she doesn't want to make big ripples, right? Melody is going to go with the house. And the thing is that I'm on the fence about her because she could go either way because she hates that girl so much. But it was Devins, D, Angela, Barrett, Drew, and they had Mallory. Now, that's where it would have been funny. That's why D was talking so much with Mallory. D ain't never talked to Mallory that much. Within the last 24 hours, they have been like this. Mallory would have gave them that vote.
And that's where I don't think so. Because Mallory is quite literally the only person before Lala said that. And when I say only, I mean only person who has said, I'm going to target the icons ever in the entire season so far. So Mallory is not as gullible as you think, I feel like, or she's not as gullible as you're giving her credit for, or not giving her credit for. I think
I don't think she's gullible. I don't think she's gullible at all.
D can make motion. D can flip a boat. D and Devin can powerhouse. But I do think that, especially in a time where they are literally in power and safe and comfortable, if you think that they're not in that fight or flight mode this week to where flipping a vote does damage and I need something to be shaken up. No. This is the shake up. We're good. Like, I just don't. And that's why I honestly almost wish Haley didn't win so we could really see the true intentions and, like, if it would have happened. Because I was okay with Chuck going home either way, right? I think a lot more would have been shown if it was Haley versus Chuck. But I wish we would have got to see the intentions behind it. But I don't think, and even you told me that before the episode, and I was like, we're going to have to see. Because I was like, I just don't feel like they, in their moment of power, would still be shifty to flip a vote. Like, you are the majority. You are in control. And I don't know if you're not used to the control, maybe. You're not privy to all of the control that you have, but like, if y'all even pretended to be a package deal for this vote, Mallory, Melody, and Drew, Taylor, and Yash was cool. Y'all had it. It could be a tie, and Lala still has it. It's fine. We don't have to worry about D. D can talk to me all week long, and guess what? We haven't worked together in 6 weeks. I don't care. I'm not you. If you, girl. You think you got it like that? Where you gonna convince me in 2 days to go against everything that I've been working towards finally getting? Please. And maybe that's me speaking. Do a poll.
Yeah, I wish we could do a poll to see like what people think. Like, if that would have happened, would Mallory have been a vote for the icons, or would she have been a vote for the other side? And I think because also too, Mallory is trying to think long term, right? Mallory, and Mallory's not gullible at all. Like, she knows she can't trust Drew. Her and Melody talked about it last night in the bed, which I think is like super, super sad because as much as Drew is like lyric, like, you're willing to throw the person that you're talking to under the bus for what, right? Like, you obviously like this girl.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
But you take back to Devin and D what Mallory and Melody said about wanting to put you up. Be so for real. Like, Drew, I ain't never liked Drew. But while we're talking about Melody and Mallory, I do want to highlight the fact that they did have the Adam and Eve punishment. And yes. I just have to give a moment for their bodies are tea. Baby, their bodies are tea. Do you hear me? I said, okay, come through.
Yes. They ate that.
However, I think the stupid move was for Mallory to pick
Melody.
Pick Melody.
Yes.
She should have picked somebody else. Then they can't talk game for 48 hours, or you're gonna have to talk it in front of me. What you gonna do?
You know what I thought about? I'm so glad you said that. Oh my gosh, that was a lost thought that I would have been so mad about. Could she pick Lala? Do you know that I would have picked Lala? And we would have been HOH together? Oh, I don't know if that was against the rules or what, but I would have totally picked Lala. I would have totally picked Lala. That's one person you have to talk game. You can't just not talk game to the HOH all week.
Yeah.
Y'all don't play like y'all wouldn't play like I play. Y'all would not play like I would play. I would be in there making moves that nobody's even like thinking about. What do you mean we're HOH for the week?
Yeah.
Adam and Eve. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
There has to be in the rules, though.
I agree with you.
She probably couldn't have picked her, though. I think that's probably a rule, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing. If she couldn't pick Lala, she should have either picked Taylor or D.
Somebody on the other side of what she knows already. Like, it was dumb.
Yeah.
That was dumb. You're right. And I want to go back to your point. Picking your bestie is, like, cute. It was only for 48 hours. So, like, if it was a week and you were just like, no, I can't. 2 days... You need to play the game. You're in a game.
Use that to your advantage. Yeah. Y'all just sitting there making stupid alliances, playing on the typewriter. No, go talk game with somebody else.
2 funny things though, right? Did you peep when like they were connected, but Melody still was like snuggling with Drew, and like Melody and Mallory was like sleep in the corner. I was like, you know what? By any means necessary, I guess. By any means necessary, I guess. But also, during that time this week, a new alliance was formed. Let's get into that just a second. FAP, starting off as, you know, For American People, which they also warp into For the American People, which is interesting. Yeah. But I heard that it actually stands
from a little birdie.
From a birdie across the pond. Yeah. That it actually stands for F-ass people. F-A people.
Yep.
Which is like, oh, okay. They knew not to show that when I saw it on the on the episode.
On the show. When I saw it on the live feeds, I laughed, and I think I was telling you how production would come on and say, you can't say that. You can't say change your name. And so changing their name was for the American people, and that's what they went with Wednesday night. and I just couldn't do anything but laugh because
talk about being in a reality show. And mind you, when you said that, like, they went over the intercom, Big Brother said, change your name. Yeah. What do you mean? As somebody else in the house, right? I'm listening to Big Brother come on and say, change the name. Change the name of what? Change the name of what? And you know they call their names. They'd be like, they call their names. They'd be like, Yash, please be careful. So change the name of
please
what?
Stop doing that.
Yes. Yeah. You cannot talk about production. I've seen so many clips of that, which is so funny. Again, you cannot talk about production.
Drew be in it, baby. Drew be talking all about production.
Oh my gosh. And I would be ignoring them too when they little announcements, because leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about our dumb moves for the week. We talked about our smart moves for the week, our hot takes. Okay, so what would you do as HOH?
So as HOH, I think, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, so I won't even drag it. But I would have put Kamu up, and I would have been Kamu, Chuck, Haley. Hopefully Kamu would have still won. And, you know, I would have had to name a replacement. Cool, whatever. I would have picked probably Barrett, maybe. And Drew, Drew would have been too enticing for them. Actually, Drew. Could have replaced with Drew if Kamu won. Giving Kamu a chance to prove himself in that. Well, I just don't. I think they were trusting of Kamu, rightfully so, but early. Too trusting. So, like, he would have gone up for me, and it would have been the three of y'all, here's y'all's final hurrah.
Yeah.
And if you trust me, you trust me.
Not the final hurrah.
Yeah. If you don't trust me, you trust me. If you don't, you don't. But either way, you just put me on the block. So, like, I don't have to explain. If there's anybody that I don't have to explain, it's you. Period.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree with you. I would do the same thing. I would have put, especially because now I think they really do see each other, like, saw the three of them as a trio, right? Mm-hmm. Like last week's vote showed that. Mm-hmm. So I would have capitalized on that. I'm putting up the trio. Like, if y'all aren't with each other, y'all aren't with each other. Take yourself off, save yourself, do whatever you gotta do. I'm putting up the trio. My renom, I would have wanted Kamu to take himself off, like you said, and my renom would have been Drew, for sure.
Yeah. Same page.
Yeah.
Because that just makes 100%. Sense. It's like, I don't care who, and even this week, I didn't care, because, like, and I know he's on your draft or whatever, but Barrett, if, worst case scenario, they would flipped it on Barrett, it was water under the bridge either way. When that veto meeting was adjourned, I was like, whoever goes home, it's for the best. Like, I'm okay. Because it changes the dynamic no matter what. Like, and not to say that I want D weakened at all, but, like, Barrett weakens D. No Chuck weakens Haley. No, Haley strengthens the house in general. So it's like, it's a win in my warped world of how I see the game happening right now. So yeah, and like, say our plan happened instead, right? Where Drew ended up as, like, you know, on the block that night, blockbuster eviction night, and didn't win, and Drew accidentally goes home on an accident from being a pawn out of Chuck and Haley. You know,
Okay.
like, it's a win. It's a win. We got to take our wins.
A win is a win, baby. A win is a win.
We've been losing all these weeks. Like, we got to take the W somehow.
Yeah.
But you did say, like, we talked about our dumb moves, and I did have one more, right?
Okay.
There was something about Haley saying, oh, a good idea to show loyalty would have been, yeah, we're not going to use the veto. So if me or Chuck won, we would just not use the veto to show. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, my gosh. I think there's a level of delirium that starts to happen when you're in there for too long. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's no case where you just like, don't use the veto that you won when you're on the block and you're the target.
Yeah.
And you know you're the target. And you were just HOH. And the person that you just put up. Anyways. But also, you know, I did question it. And so I'm going to put it 50% dumb, 50% smart. And I'm going to just have to see how it plays out. But when I first saw it, I thought it was dumb. And so I put Kamu in all caps. Why win the veto in the situation where you are perfectly set to where you have avoided yourself getting off of the block by aligning yourself with Lala and the other side of the house, right? However, your teammates who are the target don't know that you switched up on them. They're actually actively in their diary room saying, I trust Kamu, I trust Chuck. I trust Haley, I trust Kamu. Cool. You're officially in the middle of this bunch. And you may not know that they still trust you because you don't trust them, but you are asking to show cards that you didn't have to. And specifically the situation he was in was, I can win being somebody that's not on the block and expect it to be used, or I can low-key let this person who is on the block win, and because of the conversations that I've had, I may or may not feel comfortable enough to feel like I'm not the back door because we're working together, right? So is it putting himself in jeopardy a bit, and why I can see where like it was smart to like win it for sure so that you know you're not the back door? Yes. But you didn't have to win that. And you actually could have let Barrett win that, take himself off. Lala has to low-key prove herself to you, right? That like she means what she says about y'all working together, but about like not trying to backdoor you. But also, you don't have to basically draw a line in the sand with your team who you've jumped ship on. They never even knew you jumped off the boat. They never knew you jumped off the boat. So why draw that line when you did not have to?
But I do feel like they did know. And we talk about delusion a lot, right? They did know when they questioned that it was Kamu.
They did early on
for the eviction, for the flip of the eviction. So they thought it was Kamu. They said that he was acting funny, right? They weren't. How did you not know that he switched up? Even if you thought that, right? Y'all both thought that. So.
But then they've gotten and maybe more of the conversations were on live feeds than on the episodes. But there comes to a point where we have passed that, right? And we're now at the point where even D knows that it's out of her and Yash that are the people who are lying, right? Even D is saying that in a conversation, guilty as ever, like it's out of me and Yash. So like, let's bring Yash in then, right?
Yeah.
With these same people. So at a certain point, it's at that point where they do trust Kamu again. They do realize that they were wrong, and they're literally saying like in their diary rooms, the only person I can trust is either is like I said, Kamu and Haley, or Chuck is saying I only trust or Haley's saying I only trust Chuck and Kamu now. It was him not using the veto that drew another line. So maybe they did stop trusting him for a second, but they got that right back, and they realized it's just them three to the end. It was no more tool shed. It was no more red corner, but it was them three still. They got to that point. So him doing the whole veto thing felt like a extra step to prove himself, but was it necessary?
I think it was necessary.
And I think it was beneficial.
Yeah.
I think it was beneficial for sure. Necessary is where I'm like, doing things to prove yourself is great. It's always great. It's always building trust, showing where your allegiance lies. They know they have a number, but it's not about everybody else. It's about you as an individual. And for you as an individual to be sitting in the middle of two beefing parties, you're good. If you don't win this HOH, you're good.
But I also want to just highlight though that they had several conversations about Haley being like the Titanic. She's a sinking ship, right? They tried to use that to Chuck, and they tried to use that to Kamu, which is like, I gotta break away from this trio that I was at the bottom of anyway, right? He said that. Like, that was obvious. Last week too, in Haley's HOH, Haley said that she has to do a gave move that was best for her. I forgot what it was in connection to, but that's what she told Kamu. I have to do what's best for my game.
By putting up lyric.
Right. So for him not to use it, right, was doing what's best for his game.
Right.
And so to me, it was just solidifying, not like the fact that like I don't want y'all in, well, yeah, I don't want y'all no more. I don't F with y'all.
It was.
Like
but was that necessary?
I am a free agent.
But was that necessary truly in this game?
It's to Chuck and Haley, no, right? Like, it's Chuck and Haley. They are a sinking ship. They're gonna go home at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like within the next few weeks. But and I would have thought about it too. Like if one of them stays, what happens then?
Right.
Because Chuck said if he stayed, it was about to be war.
Right.
Now that Haley stayed, and now that Haley stayed, and she doesn't have Chuck, she's gonna be ruthless. Yeah. I think she is about to be ruthless,
scorched to the earth, like just ugh.
Right.
Mind you,
and
she
she's
was
gonna
already
remember. Yeah, disappointed that he didn't use it. She was like, that's disappointing. Like he's gonna have to feel that.
And honestly, he's lucky Chuck went home, because I feel like it was worse for him to pick him. Chuck picked him to play the veto. So we're in an alliance. We're in a trio. We're on the block. I picked you. Yeah. You don't use it. You're past 3 strikes. And yeah, it is, you flipped the bird at me, basically. Excuse me. So,
how embarrassing was it when Chuck was like, you got my chain around your neck. Who gonna tell him?
Who is gonna tell him? And that is when I get back to like that self-awareness thing, where it was like just like foot in mouth. Talk about a foot in mouth. I mean, from how Chuck talked about Lala, for him to be the one that's evicted on her HOH, to him saying you got your chain in my da da da. You picking the person that ultimately caused your demise. Like just everything is just like,
yeah.
You literally asked for this plate. and I had no choice but to serve it to you.
Yeah.
And
it's so funny too. It's so funny too, because we have talked about how Chuck isn't he's in the background. He doesn't get that much airtime, even on live feeds, right? He gets more airtime on live feeds, but he still doesn't get enough airtime, right? And so it's still crazy that we're like, Chuck who? Is Chuck even in the house? And then this week, that's all we saw. All we saw was Chuck.
Right.
And it was just like, yeah, you just...
Yes, he should have. Because we didn't get to hear his thoughts. And I will give credit.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to give myself credit for that. We didn't hear his thoughts. And because I was supporting the essence of Chuck, I supported the essence of Chuck, the presence of Chuck. We get to hear your thoughts, and I'm like, God, get this guy out of here. Get him gone. And it sucked. But I can eat my words, you can eat my word, you can eat your words. We could both be accountable, and okay, we were wrong. I was wrong. I can say that, you can say that, and we can you were right actually about him, but I'm just saying we can say that and it'd be okay. He should have stayed in the back. He should have throw away the key. And for him to say to Julie I thought I was insulated enough to play later.
And so, what's crazy, and I thought about this, and I'm so glad you said, Julie, when Chuck gets his phone and he sees what they are saying, let me tell you, it's going to progressively get worse, right? Because last week was Lyric. Baby, I know they ate her up when she got out of the house. They love Jason, so that was not that. Lyric, they ate her up. Chuck, they about to chew him up and spit him out, right? And then if Haley does go next week, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Okay, so we're gonna get into predictions next.
Right.
But Haley's family turned off, they either deactivated her Instagram or they turned off her comments. One of the two. So when these people actually get back in real life and see that you didn't land the way you thought you land, you didn't eat the way you thought you ate. It's like,
yeah.
I just want to be a fly on the wall for that. Like when Chuck figures out that people, my comments, everybody else's comments are diabolical about you.
Yeah. And I will say, like, it sucks, but it's the reality of, like, just today. Because honestly, past Big Brother players didn't have to do... Well, I will take that back. I did find out that, like, they give them 8 sessions of therapy after Big Brother because of how mentally, like, insane this really does... What this does to you.
No, they do it in the show too.
And they do it in the show too, and they can like call on that therapist. Yeah. But even after, they give them 8 extra sessions post show.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Post show to like, we'll take care. Like, we know we mess with your mental, and we know that this is going to mess with your mental. Just being in the house, what comes with being in this house and being on TV and all the things. And remember last season, I said like, I don't think I would land the way I think I would. Like, granted,
right?
Because I'm going to show up, and I'm going to, I told you, like, even from the whole Jason thing, episode 1, when I'm like, it wasn't that bad to me. Like, the only thing that he did wrong was tell people that he lied, or tell people that he was, like, playing in Angela's face. But, like, so that is something that thing.
Right, because last year I told you, when you said that, I said, you gonna have me out here fighting in these streets behind you, TJ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna get home, and I'm gonna get my phone, and I'm gonna read the comments, and I'll be like, well, whatever. Like, I got $750,000 though. Do you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so next week's predictions.
Well, you already said yours, right?
Okay, you go first, and then I'm gonna let me think about it in another second.
I am okay. So I've been trying to like dig into this because like we go from wall comp. So I'm thinking we're gonna have one of the like tedious like little competitions where it's like footwork.
Put the stuff together.
No, not that. That's not yet. That's later on when they only have and that's usually a veto too.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is.
It's gonna be something like they've done mental. They just did a trivia. They just did a wall. So now I think it's gonna be like, you know how they like have to like do an egg on a gate or something. It's gonna be some type of something. But I do think the person who's I have a feeling Mallory it's her time. I have a feeling that Mallory is itching for it, and I'm itching for Mallory to do something, something powerful. So a Mallory or a Taylor is who I'm rooting for. I honestly hope a Yash comes out of nowhere also.
Okay.
And what they do, I'm not gonna even put too much into it, but I do think they're obviously gonna, hopefully, at least one icon goes on the block. And I don't care who. And I'm for the icons. I say that two things if you trade once. I'm for the icons.
Yeah.
But I do need some turmoil to happen for them. I think at least an icon being on the block. And as long as that comes into fruition, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So
what do you think?
I do think that I am rooting for Taylor, of course. I think it would be Taylor, Mallory, even D. I would even, I say that, you know what? I don't say that. Like, no, let me take D back. Let me take that back. I want Mallory or Taylor to win. I think it would be interesting to see if Kamu did win, right? And so I think that would be an interesting week. But who I want to win is I want Taylor to win. Because I feel like if Taylor does not win, right, she is going to be put up. And I feel like either Lala or Taylor is going to be put up. I feel like one of the icons are going to be put up, and I feel like they're going to go to the lesser of the three, which would be Angela, right?
Is that really lesser?
Yeah, I would. Oh, well, to me, I would want Angela out before I wanted D or Devins out. So, yeah, I hope Taylor wins.
Mm-hmm.
Mallory would be a great backup. Even Melody. If Melody could finally
Yes.
pull one out,
I'm not mad at that. I would not be mad at that.
I would love that. But she's not too much into the mess to be mad at the fact that how they're doing Lala and Taylor, who she likes, right? To really get some blood on her hands. I feel like if she did get HOA, she wouldn't get blood on her hands. But Taylor or Mallory would. And I do also want to say about my girl Melody, just really, really quick before we wrap up. I am so, like, I think I cry with her every time she's on the phone with her mom. And if it wasn't for you being like, you know, she's not really on the phone, like, I knew that. I knew that, but then I was like, the way she be crying, I wanted that for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so sweet, because I feel like if Anaya ever went to Big Brother, she would do the same exact thing, like the pretend conversations, just because she missed me. Yeah.
I think it's the most adorable thing, but when I say I burst out laughing, let me tell y'all, she texted me and she was like, so when could they call people and like be on the phone? And I said, so luckily that same day, I had just seen the clip of them saying, of Melody saying, like, my favorite part of the day is when I can pretend to be on the phone with my mom, and I literally sit there and talk to her for a while, actually. And I was like, oh wow. And she was like, I love the phone. And they love that little computer that I don't think they can do anything on.
Right, they can't.
And so yeah, you were like, when can they get phones? Mind you, it was already like a thing because they record like videos and stuff, and I'm like wondering,
yes,
like what type of thing are they recording on, because it very much gives phone. So like, what do they have, like a singular app phone or like a guided access? You know how you can like lock your phone up?
Yeah,
something like that. But like, I'm like, they do have a phone, and like, okay, right. So I was following you for a second. I was like, if I had not seen that video that day, I would have been like, oh no. I would have came to this episode like, I don't even like the new era of Big Brother. What do you mean they have phones and they just doing too much extra?
And I will say, just to save myself just a tad bit, that is really what got me. The fact that they even have the phones to do TikToks, yes, I think that they're so cute, but I think it's also so weird because that's never been a part of the game, right?
Right.
And I never thought about the guided access. That is a very, like, probably what's happening. But because they can use the phone, and then I would, like, I don't know, like, when I would be, like, logging in, she would be in the middle of a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I would always have to log out or turn the TV off when she was still in the conversation. Mm-hmm. So, like, she would go through these pauses, like, where she would be crying, and I'm like, is somebody on the other side, like, line talking to her? Like, for her to be crying like that, right? Mm-hmm. And when I'm telling you, she was, like, 2 conversations I turned into, I was like, wait.
It has to be real.
Like, and she was asking a question like, oh, you won't believe they told me I probably would be really good at Survivor, and I know you would think that's funny or something. And then it like paused, and I was like, is she talking to her mom? So confused.
Listen,
so confused.
The more I watch these feeds and I realize that these people have nothing to do 24/7.
Yeah.
I realize, mind you, talking to me, I'm the busiest body ever. I booked my schedule up to the brim. Yeah. So to imagine my life for 3 months to be in a house full of dirty people, while also emotionally and mentally like trying to compete, but also emotionally like low-key unstable because of like my entire with nothing to do but me and my thoughts, my ADHD thoughts, right? With like with these people who probably get on my nerves, and who maybe I'm on the block, maybe I'm and I realize, like, you know what? That it's a lot deeper, and you really and I internalize the whole, you think you know Big Brother until you're playing Big Brother comments like a lot more when I've like watched these feeds and realized like these people just like nothing. You know, I turned the feeds on last night and like, I'm not even proud to say this. I turned the feeds on and they were all sleeping and I just like went to sleep to them sleeping, like with the live feeds on. But what was so funny,
like you were there,
like I was there going to sleep with them too, which was so funny because the thing I caught before I went to sleep, Barrett got in the bed with Devins.
He said he was gonna do that.
It was so funny. I was like, what's happening? And then I woke up to get ready for work. My TV's still on. They're still in bed. And Devins and Barrett are still asleep in the same bed. I'm like, what's happening here? It's so interesting of a dynamic. Mind you, Barrett, 6'6", sharing a bed. And it's not even, it's a twin. Like, I'm so, it's hilarious. It insane.
Really is.
It's insane.
But so one thing, we're going to label this episode like XL because... baby. But I do feel like a huge chunk was to a certain subject. But anyway, I do want to say this because you touched on it briefly. And I had a conversation with somebody about Big Brother, right? And I don't watch the news often. I watch the news maybe like once or twice a week, to be honest. And that's just to find out things happening around Houston and like how the weather is, right? But one of the news stories that I heard today, which is like super sad, is that these Navy SEALs have been on this, have been deployed and been on this boat for 250 days, right? And these sailors are trying to jump ship, pretty much like commit suicide, because they are literally going crazy inside. They haven't touched land. They have been deployed in the water, cut off pretty much from people for 250 days, right? And I thought about that and I was like, we really are watching these people in real time lose their mind.
Yes. Yes.
Like that, like,
yeah.
As I thought about that news story, I was like, and it made me think, you know, when you think of Big Brother, you think of like that movie, The Truman Show and stuff like that, right? And like how crazy it is that we are literally watching people at the same time that I am talking to you. They are playing this game that we can watch every move, every conversation. I know when these people go number 2. What? Right? Y'all are touching fake grass. Y'all aren't touching the outside world. Y'all are cut off from the outside world. And this girl is crying to her mother. Like, anyway, that news story today literally put in perspective Big Brother for me in a totally different aspect, right? Because again, when you are that cut off, and they're not for 250 days. They're only gone for 3. So think about it. 250 days is 8 months, right? 8 to 9 months. They are literally trying to commit suicide for being locked up that long, right? That is so inhumane and all that, right? But for 3 months, these people are locked up and they get to that brink, right? And then you have an Angela who's paranoid, who is like acting out and can't emotionally regulate in the moment, or a Kamu who is literally saying like he is doing stuff because he knows that America is gonna love it, and the delusion that Chuck has, and like the delusion even of what Haley has, talking about she wants to be an example of somebody who is facing adversity to kids. These people are going crazy. Anyway, that's it.
That is the real BB Unlocked. Let me say, I know we had a BB Unlocked, but this is the real BB Unlocked. And I feel like every season there's going to be a new aha moment of like how insane it really is. And and then even what you just said, I took a step back and I'm like, this is one of those moments where you look and you're like, okay, careful what you wish for. Because you also have to realize these people apply. These people want to be here. I want to be there. You want to be there. So it's like, it is a careful what you wish for kind of thing. And it always is, all right.
Right.
You don't know what you know until you know it. Like, right?
Right.
And it's just like, these people are going insane. And we as a society, right? are consuming it and eating it up. And we, quite literally, us,
Gobbling.
are like
Yeah.
eating it up and like in every which way. So much so that we have our own separate, like, right. Like, it's crazy
wild
to say out loud, but like in concept, is it that crazy? No. But then when you get into the like weeds of it all, you're like, this is quite literally like, this could have been called Asylum. And it would, you know, it really could be the same.
Okay, so let me just tell you, and what also brought all of this home for me to think about it too, right? Is, and baby, we have really gone on a tangent, but since we're already here, the crazy thing is that yesterday I had such a horrible morning at work, right? Like, you know, when you have like those meetings from hell, like it was just a bad morning at work. And I'm sitting in the office and I have windows. My desk is right next to a window, right? And every hour that went by, I felt like I was losing my mind. I was like, I have to get out of here. I have to get out of here. My last meeting was over at 11. I was on my way home by 1 o'clock because I was like, I need to get out of here. I need to go home. I need to touch grass. Like I know what works for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, 2 hours in the office, I was doing work and I was like, I can't be here. I don't want to be around these people. I can't be in this. I can't be in these four walls. Like, I have to escape. And that was 2 hours. So I think about like the fact that, like you said, I've said I want to go to Big Brother, but do I?
24/7.
Could I?
24/7.
Could I? I don't know if I could. You see what I'm saying? And then like, again, we are consuming this because like you, I turn on live feeds when I'm about to go to bed, or like it's background noise for me at work or when I'm cooking or something. And the fact that we're watching these people like shower, poop, brush their teeth, and then because we do have a podcast where we give these unfiltered opinions, right? Then we sit here and we judge them,
right?
And we talk about them,
right. So when we're on there, and like, give us a break. It's like, where was the break we give you? But I honestly do feel like we give them a lot of credit. I think we call spades a spade, good and bad. And I think the good is good and the bad is bad. And it's also subjective. We don't agree on the same goods. We don't agree on the same goods and bads. And it's also, we're talking about a game and we're not talking about you personally. I think when we get to, I think there are things that become personal, like this episode. I think these were personal things that we genuinely, as character traits and as personality things and as how we show up in the world, that we don't think is different with Chuck in any instance. So it is important to speak on. And like with Lala, I think she does show up as a black mother, maternal figure, and supportive and da-da-da-da-da. In real life, these are personal things, and I think that's why we can feel a lot more about them. But like when we're hearing your thoughts all day, every day, like it's inevitable. But for the most part, we do talk about the game because it is a game, and we walk away afterwards, being able to look at these same people that we quote unquote did not like Keanu, Rachel Riley, Angela, etc., and see them as people and move on. And so it's never a personal thing. And so we can zing all day, but like we keep it a buck and we keep it pushing. And so that is what I love about us. And this is an XL episode for sure. So you know what?
Absolutely.
And so, just like that, it is a wrap on this week's XL episode. Ooh-wee. We got into the weeds of a lot of things, and I think they were important things, so I'm not mad at it, and I hope y'all stayed along for the ride with us.
Yes, me too. And I just want to say thank you for tapping in to listening to all of our opinions this week. And if you did enjoy our if you enjoyed our yap session, please follow, favorite, and rate our show.
Yes, follow us and come say hi to us on Instagram at Zing_the Reality Podcast, and come say hi to us on TikTok at Zing the Reality Podcast. And be sure to like, comment, repost, favorite, share everything, not only on Instagram and TikTok, but also on YouTube and Facebook. We have expanded,
Whoop, whoop.
you know.
As always, I'm your co-host, Brandi.
And I am your co-host, MonTrell. And remember, spread light.
And spread love. We'll see you tomorrow on the live feeds.
Yeah, we'll see you tonight on the live feeds.
No, like right now, like
Bye.
as soon as we end it.
Literally.
Bye.